Kristaps Porzingis, he is frustrated with his current role within the Mavericks offense. And Tim McMahon, a reporter for the Dallas Mavericks, reported this. Porzingis has been frustrated, often feeling more like an afterthought than a co-star as Doncic dominates the ball and the spotlight. What do you think about that? Porzingis received a lot of backlash on social media.
I agree with what he's saying. That the way they play him and the way they kind of use him is just a floater or like a free-flowing big, and they kind of don't run too many plays for him, and they kind of don't set him up on offense too much. That's Rick Carlisle's fault. But at the same time, you play like garbage, and you're always hurt. And when you start playing good and then you get hurt, we have to get you back in the rhythm. And then you start playing like, excuse my language, shit. So it's like, I get with what I understand what he's saying. He is right. They do treat him like that. But at the same time, you look at yourself as a second star when you haven't performed like a second star in any situation. I mean, we saw a glimpse of that last year in the bubble when he played the Clippers and he had that 30-point game. But then look, he got hurt. Against the Clippers this year, they went practically small ball and had Batum or Paul George or, Marcus Morris guarding you, and you're 7'3" and you're struggling, So it's like you have Tim Hardaway Jr. was their second best player. He was their second star in the playoffs against the Clippers. I think he has the right to feel that way because they do treat him like that. But at the same time, you're not playing good enough where you deserve any type of play set or any type of runs because you're not playing good. You haven't performed to your expectations. So it's like you're putting everything on Luka and you're not performing.
You know how much I love Luka.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite players in the league.
Yeah.
Kristaps is 100% right in this situation. And I'm a Knicks fan. He talked down on my team a lot. So I don't feel any bias towards this situation. But Luka is very ball dominant. His play, although it can be very great, also hinders the Mavericks offense because he holds the ball. He's a great passer, but there are possessions where as soon as he comes up the court, he's taking a shot and nobody else touches the ball. KP needs the ball to be successful. He's being relegated to a spot-up shooter role, and if Dallas wanted that, they should have just gotten Davis Bertans and not Porzingis, because Porzingis is not that player. Watching him in New York, he was a face-up player. The ball was being thrown to him. He was making plays. He was special. That's why they called him the unicorn. Yes, he can shoot. He's a really good three-point shooter. He has range, but that's not his game. And his frustration shows when he plays with the Mavericks because in the playoffs, I forgot what game it was, but Porzingis, as soon as the Mavericks were on a fast break, Porzingis had a 2-on-1.
Game 6.
Yes, and he just pulled up from 3. That's a frustration shot. That's a shot that I haven't done. Yeah, I haven't gotten any shot all game, and I just need one to go in.
I'm taking this.
And I'm just going to take it, and I don't care. And Devin the Lab tweeted, I respect him a lot. I follow him on Twitter. He's a great follow. That those shots lose you series. And that's true. But I respect KP because he's saying, look, I want to give an input on this series. I want to make my presence known, but I'm not given the opportunity to do so. And the thing I despise about the NBA community sometimes, NBA Twitter, is that as soon as a player plays bad or plays bad in the playoffs specifically, we all of a sudden forget everything they've ever done. That happened with Paul George and with Porzingis. I mean, this guy averaged 20 and 10 in the regular season, 20 and 9 to be exact. Yeah. He averaged 20 and 9 in the regular season. He shot good from the field, good from the 3, but he was getting opportunities. And even then, he wasn't getting many opportunities, but he played well. How can you expect anybody to perform well in the playoffs when they're shooting 10 shots per game?
Yeah.
That's what Porzingis was shooting, and of course he's going to struggle. He shot under 30% from 3, which is bad, yes, but I guarantee you if you had 4 more shot attempts, that is over 30% definitely, and I just don't think he's getting the opportunity to succeed. And at this point, like we've mentioned before, we've talked about the Luka and KP dynamic on this show many times. It's not going to work because Porzingis needs the ball. He needs the ball to succeed. He's not a spot-up shooter. They need to get him in more sets. They need to run more plays for him. And I don't think it's going to work. I think KP most likely does get traded. And if he doesn't, he should get traded and finally get a chance to blossom. Because I think with the Mavericks, as long as Luka's ball dominant, it's not going to happen. And the same happened with Dennis Smith Jr. when he first got there too.
Yeah, I think a lot of this kind of relates to the Trae Young, John Collins situation at the beginning of the year. You know, Trae being too ball dominant. Same with Luka. They are very Luka reliant. He always has the ball. And for guys like, you know, Tim Hardaway Jr., Maxi Kleber, Finney Smith, you know, that's cool because, you know, they're just 3-point knockdown shooters or 3-and-D. They're fine. That's not their game. But for a guy like Porzingis, you're right. He is a face-up guy. He likes to get in the post. He likes to get at the mid-range spot. He likes to get it there, turn around, hit the jump shot, or go to the basket. He's not a spot-up shooter, but he can shoot the three if he needs to. He can be a pick and pop, but he doesn't want to do that all game. And he's shown the abilities to be versatile. I think this is more of a Rick Carlisle problem. I think being the coach, he's the one who sets the offense. He sets the scheme, and I think his scheme is just give it to Luka and have Porzingis run around flowing, just being that guy that just – he's 7'3". He can be dominant if Rick Carlisle puts him in the right – and don't get me – Rick Carlisle is a great coach. I'm not knocking him, but you have Luka and KP. You have two guys who are virtually unicorns. KP is a big who can shoot. He's athletic. Luka is – we know what Luka is. You have a guy where KP could have definitely changed the dynamic of that series if he was more impactful. They probably would have won if he was more impactful. You have a 7'3" guy who was rebounding and he can get a shot. It's just, like you said, it's probably not going to work because Rick Carlisle is under the impression that the ball needs to be in Luka's hands at all time.
And if you look at Luka in this series, in the first quarter, second, third, and fourth, his points go down after every quarter.
In the fourth, he barely scores.
Yes, and his field goal percentage and three-point percentage also goes down because he's gassed. He needs a break as well. And that's where KP should have came in, but no. He didn't get much of an opportunity to succeed. And that's why people can throw their jokes at KP all they want. But I don't think this is his fault, and I think he has a lot of evidence as to why he should feel the way he feels. I mean, he has every right to feel how he feels because he should be used more. And you're right. Those guys are spot-up shooters. Tim Hardaway, Maxi Kleber, Dorian Finney-Smith. But you want to know what? That's those same players that fit Luka's style. When they win, perfect complementary players. When they lose, Luka has no help.
Agreed.
Luka has no help.
You know how it is, though.
Game 1 and 2, those guys were on fire. Everybody's praising the Dallas Mavericks. They lose the series. Oh, nobody outside of Luka showed up. All these narratives come out. Like, no, you know what they are.
Before the series, yeah.
Yes, you know what they are. And if you don't want Luka to not dominate the ball that much, you're going to have to sacrifice it and give it to another star. And if you're not willing to do that, Luka will always have that type of supporting cast around him and have to do everything by himself.
Yeah, I think that goes with, you know, that's a problem that I think Kobe touched on it in a him and T-Mac interview. You know, he says when you're too ball dominant, you know, it's never going to work because the ball is always in the hand. You need help. And I think Luka has help to be, you know, he talked about it. He said he hasn't won anything. They haven't made it out the first round. You could have made it out. You have help. You have a 7'3" unicorn right next to you. You just have to utilize him more. And I think, you know, with guys like James Harden, who realized that late and then decided to go play with Kevin Durant and Kyrie, he's starting to realize that, you know, when you don't have the ball and you have other guys, you know, it's a better feeling. Like, you play better, you feel better. Like, you don't always have to – everything is not in your hands. You're not always gassed. Same thing with Steph, KD, Clay, and them. They realize, you know, having that team and help on your side definitely is a different feeling. Like you said, being too Luka reliant, those are the guys you're going to get because stars don't want to just sit in a corner or be spot-up shooters. You know, they want the ball. They want to make an impact. So, like you said, don't scream the no-help rule when your player, your star, has the ball 99% of the game.
So a report came out that trade interest in Kristaps Porzingis around the league is minimal. Teams are scared off by the money, the health, and the possibility of his diminishing production.
His contract is huge.
The Wizards are monitoring the situation. And when we talked about KP and Luka, one of the other episodes on a segment, I said that was a team, right? And I think their trade package would be Davis Bertans, Denny Advia, and a pick.
The young guy,
KP.
the rookie.
Yes. Because I don't think Washington is giving up Bradley Beal for Porzingis. No way. And I think Washington would have Westbrook, Porzingis, and Beal. That wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, do you think?
That wouldn't be too bad.
Bunch of guys.
That wouldn't be too bad, I think.
Rui. Don't forget Rui.
Rui, too. They would make a playoff run. I think they'll make a playoff run.
Didn't they just make one without her?
Yes, but like getting out the first round playoff run. Porzingis, Rui, Westbrook, Beal.
Do your thing, man.
They are losing Denny, but I think
he didn't show much to really.
Porzingis is better than Bertans, so I think that would be better for them.
But Bertans fits the Luka reliant thing, just spot up.
Yeah, he does.
So you get a guy like that, and for less money too. So
that lineup would be good. I mean, the Wizards. You would have Westbrook, Beal, Rui, Porzingis, and Gafford.
You would have Rui at the 3.
I don't know.
He struggles to guard wings.
I mean, maybe the 4, Porzingis at the 5, and Gafford off the bench.
Who would be the 3? I'm trying to think. Who started this year?
I got to see. I'm about to check right now.
Who the hell started at the 3 for them, yeah? Because Troy Brown got traded.
I'm about to check. It might have been Rui. I'm not going to lie. I think it was. Let me check.
Oh, and Thomas Bryant to be back. He was good for them.
Oh, let me see. I think their starting lineup right now, it says it was Westbrook, Raul Neto, Beal, Rui, and Gafford. Off the bench, it was Ish Smith, Garrison Matthews, Robin Lopez. They had Alex Len.
So Beal played the 3?
Chandler Hutchinson, Isaac Bonga.
Wow. Raul Neto.
That was an insanely small lineup.
Jesus. What were they thinking?
Let me see who their last starting lineup was. Okay. It was Neto, Westbrook, Beal, Rui, Gafford. Yeah, it was
my goodness.
So, yeah, I mean, they could easily sign a wing in free agency. Who doesn't
Dorian
cost that
Finney
much.
is a free agent.
That wouldn't be too bad.